In this video, I will be going over the 4 word problems that we have in our review. So this will be numbers 15 through 18. So take a minute to read through number 15. Make sure that you underline everything that's important. You can pause the video, try to do it on your own. If you already have, the first thing that I do is I look at how many groups I'm going to need. Well, throughout this problem, get my highlighter, sailing, swimming, and playing golf. So that's 3. So when I draw my Venn diagram, I'm going to have 3 parts to it. 1, 2, 3. And right at the beginning, they said 16 people take part in all 3 activities. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling in my Venn diagram. If 16 take part in all 3, 16 will be this middle number. I'm going to make sure that I label each circle before I get too far. So we have sailing, we have swimming, and we have golf. Okay. Then it says 36 people go sailing and swimming. So sailing and swimming is right here. And that's a total of 36. So be careful, don't just put 36 in the empty triangle there. We already have 16 accounted for. So that only leaves 36 minus 16, 20 left over there. Okay, and then we have the next thing that they say, 45 people swim and play golf, but do not go sailing. So they've already told us something here. They have already not included the sailing. So swim and play golf, but not sail is here. That number is 45. So you have to be really careful about the wording. The reason why for the red I had to subtract out the 16 is because they just said sailing and swimming in general. So that's the whole intersection of sailing and swimming. Okay, but the next part said swim and golf, but not sailing. So they are specifically talking about this little part that intersects swim and golf, but does not intersect sail. So they told us that is 45 and there's no reason to subtract. Then they said 18 people play golf and go sailing, but do not swim. So they have again told us that we are outside of that little middle part, so we do not need to subtract 16. We can just write 18 in there. So be very careful. If they did not say, but do not swim, then we'd have to subtract and only a 2 would be there. But they already said that 16 is separate from the 18. Then they said 65 people go sailing only. So sailing only is 65. So that's that big portion there. And then 22 people do not take part in any of these activities. So if our universe is 300 people, then there are 22 people who are outside of all of those circles. So we do have 2 blanks. We have a blank here and we have a blank here. So let's look at the question that they're asking us. They say, if the number of people who play golf is only 8 less than those who swim, so that means we have to take the number who swim and subtract 8, and we would get the number who play golf. Find the number of people who swim only. So our goal is swim only. I use my Venn diagram to help me see what section I need to fill out. Swim only is this piece right here. So that's really the question that I want to answer. So what I can do, I have 2 blanks on my Venn diagram, here and here. So what it means is that if I add up all of these, we'll call this S and this G. Because when we put it in an equation, we need to be able to write them like quickly. So our universe is 300. So 300, the union of all of everything that we see, is equal to, and then we add up all the numbers. We have 65 plus 20 plus 18 plus 16 plus 45 plus the swimming, we don't know what that is, plus the golf, don't know what that is either, plus we have 22 on the outside. So we're adding all those up. What we want to know is swim only. Swim only is this S. So what we can do is we have this equation that we got from this 8 less statement, and we can take G equals, so instead of G, we can write S minus 8. So if we add up all these numbers, if you did 65 plus 20 plus 18 plus 16 plus 45 plus 22, you would get 186 plus S, and then remember, instead of G, we're going to write S minus 8. So we have plus S minus 8 equals 300. So then from there we can do 186 minus 8 is 178. And then we have 300 over here, and we have 2S. S plus S is 2S. Then we have 300 minus 178 is 122 equals 2S. So then we divide that by 2, and S is 61. So the number of people who swim only, let's make sure that we did the right one. This S goes in swim only, and that's what they were asking us for. So that's our answer, 61. Whew. All right, let's look at number 16. It says in a group of 100 persons, 72 people can speak English, 43 people can speak French. So we are talking about two groups of people, English speakers and French speakers. And all they told us was that we had a group, a total of 100, and we know that English speakers total to 72 and French speakers total to 43. This question actually has 3 parts. How many can speak English only, which is here? How many can speak French only, which is here, and both. So we need all 3 parts of this Venn diagram, and we're not able to fill in any right now. But we can use our equation setup to figure that out. So we have our total, which is 100, equals, we add the 2 groups, which would be 72 plus 43 in this case. And then we subtract out what's both, so what's in the intersection. So that's actually going to be the first one that we figure out. 72 plus 43 is 115. And then we have minus both equals 100. So both is 115. No, it's just 15, sorry. Because the difference between 100 and 115 is only 15. So be careful there. So we have 15 people that speak both English and French. So both English and French is 15. So we'll catalog our answers here since we need all 3 of them. Then the next thing that we need is English only and then French only. Well, if our total English speakers are 72, if we take out the number that speak both, 72 minus 15 is 57. So that's what goes there in our Venn diagram. So English only is 57. And then finally, we take our total of French speakers, which is 43, and subtract out the overlap. 43 minus 15 is 28. So French only is 28. And that's that part. So that's all three parts of this problem. Okay, take a second to look at number 17 if you have not already. See what's important. See if you know how many circles in your Venn diagram that you need, and fill out what you can. If you have already done that, we can see that this is about giving out medals, and there are medals in dance, dramatics, and music. So we have 3 circles in our Venn diagram. 1, 2, 3. So total for dance is 36. Total for dramatics is 12. And total for music is 18. We have the overall total for everything is 45. And the only 4 people or persons got medals in all 3 categories. So if dance is here, dramatics is here, and music is here, that would mean 4 is all the way in the middle. Now, the only other information that they gave us was that we have a total of 18 in music, 36 in dance, and 12 in drama, with a 45 total. In 3 Venn diagrams, when we think about our equations, there are 3 sections where they overlap. And the question is, how many received medals in exactly 2 of these categories? Well, if we're looking at this, these 3 triangles that are out from the middle, those are the exactly 2. So if we can get the numbers in there and add them all up, or if they're already added up for us, that'd be nice, we can get our answer. So just like we do in any other problem, we take our total, which in here is 45. We take, this time it's 3 sets, so we add up all 3 numbers, 36 plus 12 plus 18. And what we always do is subtract out the overlap. So when we do this, we have 45 equals 66 minus the overlap. I'm going to shorten that as OV. Then our total overlap is 21. But be careful here because that total overlap even includes that middle. But that's the people who got all 3. So 21 people got more than 1 medal, and we want to take out the 4 that got all 3. So the 2 medal people is 17. And that's our answer for that one. Now, the last problem, number 18. We have, let's figure out how many categories we need. We have chemistry, biology, and physics. So that's 3 circles. Okay, we know a total. Let's go ahead and label these: chemistry, biology, and physics. Chemistry is a total of 28. Biology is a total of 32. Physics is a total of 40. 9 took chemistry and biology, 10 took chemistry and physics, 8 took biology and physics, and 4 took all 3. So we know we can put a 4 in the middle, and we can figure out what else is in those overlaps. So we said 8 took biology and physics, so biology and physics is here. 8 total in that football, so 8 minus 4 is 4. 10 took chemistry and physics, so here's chemistry, here's physics, here's the overlap. 10, so that leaves 6 there. And 9 took chemistry and biology, so here's their overlap. We've already taken care of 4, which leaves 5 left because there's 9 total. And then we just have to figure out those bigger numbers, so we're going to use these 3. So we have a total we'll start with chemistry, of 28. So we already have 6, 4, and 5. So 28 minus 6 minus 4 minus 5 is 13 left over there. Biology has 32. So we already have 5, 4, and 4. So when we do 32 minus 5 minus 4 minus 4, it's 19. And for physics, we have 40. We already have a 6, 4, 4. So 40 minus 6 minus 4 minus 4 is 26. Now, with all this information, we can answer their question. How many students took none of these 3 subjects? Well, if there were 100 students, if we subtract out everybody that made it into one of these sections of the circle, we'll get the students that are left over. So we have 100 minus 13 and 5 and 19 and 4 and 4 and 6 and 26. All of those add up to 77. 100 minus 77 is 23. Took none. And that's our final answer. And that's it for these word problems and the end of the review.